Okay, guys, welcome to my channel. We're gonna be covering SBS 112 or Volume 112 of the SBS for One Piece. Let's jump right into it, guys. Let's not waste any time because this is a really jam-packed SBS, right? So starting off with question one of the SBS, Oda was asked, "What was Gaban's role in the Roger Pirates?" Right, and so Ichiro Oda responds, "I gave a general introduction to the Roger Pirates back in Volume 96 SBS, but I'll introduce the main members and their roles, right? The captain was obviously Gold D. Roger. We knew this already, right? He was obviously the captain. And the first mate, that was Rayleigh. Those are two roles that we knew. Yeah, that was told to us. That's not what we're interested in, right? So then we get to Scupper Gaban, and that's where the interesting thing comes into play, right? Um, Scupper, right, turns out to be a navigator. That was his role, which is crazy to think that the man who's kind of like a very carefree, very jubilacious, very he seems like very extreme, very wild, right? Very women loving dude would be good enough to navigate, right? Be the navigator of the Roger Pirates. That also comes into question, like, is this going to be stated to Nami? Is like Nami going to figure out, oh wait, Copper Gavan was a navigator. Maybe I could probe the man for questions on how to get us deeper into inner world. Granted, Nami as a navigator is already incredible. I don't, she's already very intelligent, very knowledgeable. So I don't know how much more she needs to know, but I think the one crucial piece of information is how to navigate the waters around Laftel. If that would ever, were to happen, maybe she could ask Gaban, like, "Hey, you've been to Laftel, right?" And Gaban's like, "Yeah." How do we? What is around the waters of Laftel? Is it dangerous? Is it treacherous? And who knows? Maybe Gaban does answer her questions, maybe off kilter, off screen, so that as to not spoil us, like on it. But yeah, that would be interesting. I think having a nice little chapter or like little mini panel or something, mini series within a chapter with interaction with Gaban and Nami would be really cool, especially now knowing that he's a navigator, right? So the tactical officer is Moon Isaac Jr., his nosed fellow here. I don't know who that is. Let's be honest, a lot of the background pirates of Roger's crew was kind of like mundane. Like, most of these guys aren't that interesting, right? No, it's cool to know, but they're not anything relevant toward like the main story. So, Doctor being Crocus, we knew that, right? That was told to us hella early on, right? I think it was alluded to when they got to Reverse Mountain in the first arc, and like before at the end of at the ending of East Blue, right? Right when we were entering the Alabasta arc, or yes, the Alabasta arc, or however you want to call it, section of arcs. Um, Helmsman being Don Kino, he's the guy with the red hat, like sailor hat, or not sailor hat, like military hat. Very old school military hat, like 1940s military hats, like that those soldiers used to wear. And smoking this. No, he's not smoking. He's drinking a beer. Cool guy. Cool. So he's basically their Jinbei. Now this is interesting. Millet Pine, like this dwarf looking guy, uh, being their torturer slash interrogator. That's a hell of a role to have within a pirate crew, and it makes you question what the hell was what you're doing that he would require an interrogator on his crew or torturer. Because I like how Oda put it in quotations. He's not a torturer. He's an interrogator, quote unquote. Uh, yeah. So like, what were they trying to get out? Like, That's an interesting like role to have within a pirate crew. I mean, in real life, pirate crews would most likely would have a guy that would torture and punish people within the brig, right? So it's not a surprising role, right? But considering, like, I think Roger, the way people see Roger as like this good guy, it does make you remember, hey, these guys are pirates for first and foremost. They're first and foremost. They're not like good people all the way, right? They're still pirates. They still do some pretty heinous things. Here, having a torturer to get information out of them is a perfect example of that. Then we have their own scholar, just like Luffy has Robin. They have a guy named Rowing. He has like brown hair and like a very, in the picture, it's very tiny, but he has like a croc jaw underbite. Interesting. Then they have their informant, Ario. His blue hair, mustache, and has a hat. He definitely looks like a guy that would be an informant. Um, Case in point, I think Ario and Millard Pine work together. I think um, I'm guessing Ario asked the question and Millard Pine gets the guy to answer it or something. I think they're a duo. It seems like according to this crew chart, they're a duo. Then we have intelligence officer Spencer. He looks a lot like Nami, like a male Nami. Like he has an orange um long thing. Makes you kind of question he could potentially be like an ancestor of Nami's, like her grandfather or like uh some kind of relative. They look pretty like their hair color is really similar, but I don't know. It's interesting though. Um, they have an intelligence officer and an informant. I don't know what the difference between those two are. I think they do the same thing. I guess the intelligence officer would be a guy that would be a spy, but then the informant also does spy-like things, but more or less he interacts with the underworld and gets info out of guys by like bribing and stuff. But that's weird. Like what? It makes you wonder what the hell were the Roger Pirates doing that they would need these roles within like their crew. It's interesting. The Roger Pirates are a lot more interesting than we thought. Honestly, having an informant, an intelligence officer, and a torturer. Those three roles within a crew is like not surprising, but interesting for a man that wanted to find Laugh Tale and go on an adventure. Right? It's like you really need those roles for a dude that just wants to go on the adventure of a lifetime, which is what we saw within like the little snippets in the anime and in the manga. That Roger was a very unloving, adventurous man. So having these roles on his crew is definitely giving Roger like a different look, a different edge. You know what I mean? It's unique. It's not something that I would ever expect. It's definitely interesting, right? Then we have Gunner Peter Moo, which I guess that makes sense, right? I guess he's like the guy that mans the cannons, minigun. It sounds like. We have musician Jackson Banner. Every crew has a musician. No, Luffy has Brook. They have this Jackson Banner dude. And then Shipwright Blue Marine. So that's their ranking. Okay, that's interesting. Again, the more surprising roles within this is the informant, intelligence, and the torturer. Those three roles within the crew is like hella surprising. That's not something that you would ever expect to be on a pirate crew. Hell, okay. So here's question 2, right? The second question posed to Oda within the volume 112. Before I continue, like this is all gotten by One Piece News on Twitter at One Piece News 2025, right? So if you guys are interested in finding out, like, look, follow this guy, look him up. He's the one that I'm getting this from. Okay. So the next question is the man with the sunglasses who appeared in chapter 1096 Gil Bastar. Then holy shit, yeah, they went really far back. 1096. That's like a couple years ago during like the early. Is it Wano or like Whole Cake? That's how far. No, yeah, it's Wano. Yeah, hold up. Yeah, it's Wano, right? Wano. That was like a while ago. Holy shit. And Oda responds with, "Yes, he's a hidden character. Actually, the protagonist of a manga I drew when I was 17." Okay. How did you figure that out, Lo? So this skilled star of the Rocks Pirates had his corpse retrieved by Gecko Moria, and he appeared during the Thriller Bark arc on chapter 450. Okay, that's chapter 450. This is like recent chapter, right? Recent chapter, chapter 450. That's interesting. Um, he's the kind of character you're totally fine not noticing. So essentially, Oda saying, "Hey, kudos to you for finding this out, but he's irrelevant." Essentially, Oda saying, "Yeah, it's a nice Easter egg, but Brody's irrelevant, right? He's basically the main character of a manga that he probably a one shot he did when he was 17 or something. Uh, that's interesting. That's cool. That's cool. Also, holy shit. Okay, question 3. Another Gaban question. Odachi, hello. The Pirate King's left hand, Scopper Gavan, was his name taken from Space Sheriff Gavan, Gavin. I used to watch it on TV as a kid, so I'm guessing this is, by the way, he says Odachi. This is a Japanese person asking this. He says, "Oh, a fellow from the same generation." Ah, okay. They're both older men. Uh, I've been asked this meant by many people, but my intent was different. I've always loved old movies, and sometimes I borrow names from actors in the past. In this case, Gabon came from the old school French actor named Jean Gabon. That was where I got the name from. Cool. Also, not out of like the like realm of that's not weird. Oh, Oda's done this. He did this with Aokiji with how he looks like. Aokiji, Akainu, and Kizaru are all based off like Japanese actors. So yeah, this is not surprising that Oda would take inspiration from old timey movies and stuff. Considering like those three were inspired by older Japanese movies and older Japanese actors. So yeah, not surprising. Cool. Jingaban. I've never heard of this man. Up a bit. I can see. According to this, Jean Gabon was born. His real name was Jean Alexis Moncoig, in the Paris. Okay, he's from Paris. The son of Madeleine Petit, and Ferdinand Moncoig, a cafe owner. Okay, that's interesting. He acted in La Grande Illusion, Touches Pas à Grisby, Pec Pele Moco, in Case of Adversity, La Horse. So, this is a French actor. Never seen any of these. My guess is the French people would know. Like, if anybody that's watching this video is French or of French descent and has seen these movies, let me know your experience watching this movie. Watch it, or if your parents watch it. My dad loves old movies too, so I can relate. Like to this. Like my dad's like up there in age, he's closer to his 50s. Like he's like 48. He loves old Mexican movies though. old Mexican movies. But yeah, that's interesting. Okay, the fourth question. Getting through it. The question poses: I really love the atmosphere of the villages of Elbaf. Is there a country or town it was modeled after? Is that really a question you need to ask? It's obvious it was modeled after the Scandinavian countries, bro. Those countries are extremely beautiful, by the way. Right. Ichiro Oda responded, "I'm really glad to hear that. The design of Elbaf took quite a long time. Thank you very much. As for the model, of course, I based it primarily on buildings from the Viking era. Again, Scandinavian countries like Denmark, Sweden, Norway, Iceland, those countries. As for the model, of course, they primarily Viking era, Northern Europe, Scandinavia, like I said, Denmark, Sweden, Norway, maybe Finland. Finland is a stretch, but yeah. From there, I imagined the culture and geography. It's actually the same village that was in volume 86, but I drew it from an angle that wouldn't reveal that it was on top of a giant tree. Oh, this is the village that he drew in 86, but he drew it in a way where it didn't we couldn't tell. Oh, it was really good with this shit, dude. That's actually dope that he managed to hide that, the fact that that was um that it was on top of a tree, making the reveal a lot cooler, honestly. And here's like the inspiration of the Scandinavian of a typical Scandinavian town. My guess is in Sweden. Those red houses are very Swedish. Um, cool. Also, really weird question to ask. Like that he would. You should know that if he's taking something that's very Nordic, that it'd be from Scandinavia. But hey, not everybody knows, so it's really cool. It's really cool now that we know. Question 5, right? Odachi, I want to see what Gerd and Goldberg looked like when they were young. Alright, I have received many questions about the new giant warriors, including their childhoods. So I'll summarize here. Adrudin, occupation captain. He's 22 meters, age 81, favorite is meatballs. The Swedish meatballs. Of course his fucking favorite food would be meatballs, bro. Oh my god, okay. Name Gerd, occupation doctor, 17 meters, age 76. So she's the third oldest on this group. Favorite food, hamburger and macaron. Okay. Then we have Stevenson, occupation shipwright, 19.5 meters. Very buffy, very thick. Here's Stevenson right here. Kid. But yeah. 19.5 meters, age 81. His favorite food is Battlefront meals. Okay, this man is a soldier, bro. I don't know any person that would like. That's like saying your favorite meals are like MREs or whatever. Like the MRE meals. God damn, bro. This dude is a tough motherfucker, bro. Cause like I would, me personally, dude, that's not my favorite food. But yeah. Okay, then we have name Goldberg. Occupation cook. Height 21 meters. Age 63. Favorite food roasted ham. Goldberg is the one we met. It's the very chubby guy with the giant, club. And then we have Road. We met Road. Navigator, 26 meters. He's the tallest out of all of his compatriots. Road is the tallest giant and the youngest, or the tied with to being the youngest with Goldberg. His favorite food is berry pie. So I think he's very like little brotherish to both Gerd and thing. I like how Gerd is the only one that looks like a child, like a very cute child. Gerd and Heidruden and everybody else doesn't look as cute. I mean, I guess you could say Goldberg looks cute. Road over here looks awkward. But it's weird how Stanzen, this guy here, went from looking like this to a beefed up dude, bro. Like he looks like a like he has a whole full on like heavy beard. Heidruden I guess makes sense, but Heidruden looks much, much cooler to me compared to Stevenson. Stevenson's pretty. Alright, that was question 5. Alright, question 6. The pirate crew that appeared in chapter 1122, is that the legendary pirate crew, right? Pirate crew, what the fuck? Oda responds, yes, that's right. Where did they come from and why not? How should I explain that? Well, for those who are interested about this, please search it on the internet. So it's in a certain Jump project more than 25 years ago, these characters were based from my hip the Skull Curry alongside Nobuhiro Watsuki, Sensei's Rurouni Kenshin author Kimitar, and Take Hiroyuki-san Shaman King authors Hiro Gomon, who formed a pirate crew. Oh, okay. That makes sense. This guy is based off of Rurouni Kenshin's Kimitar right here. And here's the Shaman King author idea. That's interesting. Interesting characters. I didn't know he would reference Rurouni Kenshin's author like that, especially after, what happened with him. Shameful, but, you know, hey, hey, things happen. That's cool. Alright, question 7. Hello, Oda-san. What are the Dosunda... What's the Dusundada tribe? What are the Dusundada tribe? Do they mean Dundara? The fuck? Are they a tribe of mixed race between giants and dwarves? Or maybe between ancient giants? And then Oda responds with, quite close. The correct answer it's a mixed race between humans and dwarves. The name of the dwarf tribe, Pontada, came from the cute of their footsteps. If you raise the sound volume a bit more, it becomes Dosundada. The mixed race between a giant and a dwarf is called Zushindodo tribe. They're very rare. Okay, so I like how he created new tribes based on who they're messing with. If they're within the Tontada tribe, they stay Tontada. If they marry a human and they have a kid, I don't know how the hell you do that, but right? They become Dosundada. They get a little bigger, but they're not. They're still pretty small. And then there's the Zushindodo tribe, which there's a mix between Tontada and a giant. My guess is at that point they're just like normal sized person, and that's why they're rare, because it's like they're so indistinguishable, because if you're mixing giant blood and a tiny Tontada, just get somewhere. So they're not gonna be very short. So they're gonna be really hard to distinguish and even find compared to the Dosundada and Tontadas, which are really short. They're still short regardless of uh no thing. So that makes sense. Also kind of cool. I wish he would have drawn like a nice little diagram of like the three together, so we can see like the differences between them. But I don't. They asked for that. They just asked it. Like there was a mixed race between a mixed. They were asking what the Dosundara tribe was to begin with. Cool. Okay. According to this, the remaining questions for SBS are related to the Wrong World movie, the nature of Gunko's clothing, Shirahoshi's romantic future. Interesting. Nika and the character's eyes when they are shocked, and some pervy stuff. Of course, Oda's always gonna have some pervy stuff. Alright, here's the 8th question. It looks like they find it disgusting. Okay, interesting. Question. Suba Samaru, hello Dachi-san. Because Ripley and Gerd are giants, are their cup sizes W as in cup? Oh my fucking god. Japan! Dude, Japan! You can't keep getting away with this, Japan, bro. I love you, Japanese people, bro, but come on, bros. That's crazy. That's a crazy thing to ask. Oh, that's a good one, lol. That's so stupid. Thank you, Oda. So stupid, yet it's the best. Oh. Why, Oda? Why? Why do you keep doing this, Oda? Granted, I'm cool with it too. Let's call them World Cup size. Hell yeah. Well, if I'm going to calculate it, the bust between the female giants are more than 6 meters. I like how he even has the fucking the measurements down to pat. 6 meters is fucking huge, by the way. Holy shit. What cup size are they? They asked. Hell if I know. Up until now, Tsubasamaru-kun. Question is because they want to hide their fucking pervy selves. God damn it, Tsubasamaru, bro. What were you thinking asking this, man? God damn it. You know what? Thank you for asking it, but come on, bro. Keep it in the pants, brother. We know Gerd and Ripley are hot pieces of ass. Okay, we know that they're very attractive ladies, but let's be respectful, boys. Okay, they're very attractive women, but we can also control our urges. Okay, we're all grown up. Let's go with that. The breasts of every female giants are all are all W World Cups. Okay. They have the size W. No, I think they'd be fucking WWWX or something like that. Like extra or, some, or something like that. You know, like size WWX or something. That would be hella crazy though. That's a crazy question to ask, man. Damn it, Tsubasamaru, bro. Can't keep asking these questions, bro. The world already thinks that Oda's a perv. Let's not give them more ammunition, bro. Please. Well, people already know that, but you know. All right, so we have question 9, and here's the drawing board. So, Tanada asks, every after I finish reading One Piece, my mind is full of Nami. Okay, Jesus. And then Ichiro, shut up, Sanada. Oh, why you guys? Why do we have to be such gooners, bro? What the fuck? Why are we gooners, man? Can't we just be respectful, bro? I get it, bro. Nami, Ripley, every One Piece woman is attractive, buddy. I get it, man. There's attractive women in the real world, but like, we gotta control our urges, boys. Jesus. But I think it's hilarious that he's like, shut up, Sana. Because, like, I think, if I remember correctly, Nami is very close to Oda's heart, probably because his wife dressed up as her when he met her, so. And, you know, Oda sees himself in Sanji, so that's saying something. Alright, the next reader asks, Vegapunk's cousin, Vegapants, is in pantsu, underwear, has it. But what kind of island is it? And what type of person is he? Oh my god, okay. And then Oda answers, you know about that island, huh? Vegapants is the son of Vegapunk's father's little brother. Consequently, they live on Pensu Hazard, which is located in the South Kingdom of Moor. It's an island where the residents has the culture of wearing women's underwear over their heads. Oh no. Why do we keep doing this, Oda? Stop giving them fuel, bro. We can't keep getting away with this. I think it's fucking funny, but we can't keep getting away with this. He has an earnest, bright personality, but the island itself is set apart from the rest of the world. That brings back some memories. You know why it's set aside from the rest of the world? Because everybody fucking announces these dudes, bro. Anybody who wears women's underwear on their heads are fucking weirdos, okay? What is this, bro? What is this, man? You know what? If Emu nuked the fuck out of this island out of existence, I don't think any of us would feel sad. Nuke it, bro. Nuke it. And then the reader asks, Emu's first person pronoun is Mu. So Adachi's first person pronoun should be Da, right? Oh, it seems like okay. So that's just like a pronunciation of Oda's name. And here's fucking Vegapants, bro. Oh my god. Okay. Lock this dude up. Lock this guy up. Okay. I don't know why we did this. Okay, here's question 10. Let's hope it's not as weird. Okay, the question posed to Oda is, Odachi, in the Elbaf arc, those strange animals from the movie Strong World keep on appearing. I really love the idea of them being created in the story. Oh, so they're like the animals from Pokemon. Oda said, that's right. I've designed a lot of animals for that movie, and those animals made their appearance on Elbaf. Well, coming up with something new is troubling. So it's like hard for him to come up with something. I mean, those animals were created based on the theme of what would animals look like if they evolved in a world where strength covers everything. So it actually made things quite easy. No. I also had the idea that the animals raised in the warrior nation would be similar, so I made them appear here. It's definitely not because I'm too bothered to think of something new, okay? We know, Oda. We know. We're not gonna blame you for being lazy, bro. Anything to give yourself a break, okay? If you want to reuse the strong world animals, go ahead. I don't think you're fucking. It's a cool callback, though. Alright. Here's question 11. Question posed to Oda is, hello, Oda-san. Oda-sensei. I am a boy who is about to enter middle school. I have a question for you. I am hooked to One Piece right now. I love Kizaru. My dad owns up to volume 82 of the manga, and I've been reading them. I want him to buy volumes 83 onwards, but do you have a good strategy suggestion for that? Please teach me. And Oda's like, oh, come on. This makes me want to buy it for you. To all the young boys who read through over 100 volumes of the manga without losing interest, I wish I could buy it for every one of you. But since that's not realistic, you should go with the shoulder massage strategy. There's no parent that wouldn't be happy for getting his soldier getting a massage from their child. Volume 82 is exactly where Momonosuke vows to avenge his father. Once your dad's shoulder and heart has softened, you should say, "Father, I want to defeat Kaido," and that should do the trick. That's kind of cute. This is wholesome. Okay, how the fuck do we go from pantsuit and all that and World Cup sizes to this, bro? How? Hey, hey, this is the dichotomy of Oda. He goes from pervy old man to a very wholesome old man within the span of a few seconds. But we love him. Okay, here's question 12. I guess he didn't have a thing. Question: am I the type the Shirahoshi prefers? Oda says, I can't deny it, but I know about Shirahoshi's future. And then he puts a gif of Sanji getting turned. This is what cured Sanji of his shit. As funny as this was, it also was sort of like a huge hit to us Sanji fans, bro. And of course, they had to show Hanzo. Why? Who thought this was a good idea, Oda? Jesus, man. Okay, here's question 13. In SBS Volume 28, you said the record for the most eye-popping out from surprises you experienced was 18 times. What is the current record? Have you surpassed the world record? And then Oda says, let me clarify. I did say my eyes popped out 18 times. From what I've heard, the world record is 84. But with Nika, who I'm trying now, I might have reached 222 times, which we set a new world record, so thank you all. That's interesting. That's hilarious. Interesting. Okay, so then we have an email about Year 5 and Loki's transponders now. So the question posed to Oda here was, Oda, did you ever thought that One Piece serialization is stretching because of the influence of things? And Oda said, what? Damn it. So that's how it works. Damn it, Luffy. Unforgivable. I will not forgive you. Okay. Oda is using his first pronoun. Okay, yeah, obviously. So I think the person asking the question here is wondering if like Luffy's stretching powers is stretching the serialization to get as popular as it is because Luffy's stretching reality to make it popular. It's interesting. The next question is the speech recognition ability or the transponder snail that's beside Loki. How does it differ from other transponders now? Okay. And then Oda's response said, well, Loki's restrained, right? The reason someone can answer with the transponder snail without using their hands is because this particular transponder snail can understand a bit of human language and is able to connect to calls on its own. It's the same when making calls that can only be activated by saying hey. There's AI exists. AI exists in One Piece. One Piece is more technologically advanced than we thought, boys. That's cool. Okay, I think this is the last question. Odachi, why is Gunko walking in her... What did we talk about, Oda? What did we talk about, man? God, bro. Why? What is people's obsession with panties, bro? Panties and boobs. Look, I love them as much as any other man, okay? I'm a straight male, but guys, dogs, there's a limit to all of this. There's a limit to this, man. There's a limit. Keep calm yourselves. Any young man out there watching, relax, okay? Don't be this wild. If you want a girl to like you, don't do this, okay? Don't be this fucking wild. Be normal. By normal, I mean just be yourself, okay? And be respectful, okay? Respectful, kind, and chivalrous. That should help you out. Question here is, yeah, I just read it. Oda response, well, I keep getting comments like it's panties this, panties that, but listen, it's technically underwear, but we call it that. Then that would make Gunko some kind of pervert. That's not the case at all. You know Nami and Bonnie's outfits on Naked. It's a fashion where The hems of their jackets are extended. In fact, it reduces the amount of skin that's being exposed. So that outfit is totally fine. How rude. Yeah, I like how it is like, no, brother, it's extended to block the underwear. That'll be weird. She's not a pervert. At least he admits that it's weird and that he gets too much. And it's Nami's birthday. Happy birthday to Nami. Okay, beautiful. But yes, that's, I guess, holy shit. That's like the ending of the SBS video, guys. We learned a lot. The Raju School is definitely interesting. The whole Nami's like the whole panties and World Cup thing is fucking ridiculous. But we guys, we gotta stop being gooners. Jesus, we need God, God, we need God desperately sometimes. But yes, it was a good SBS. Overall, we learned a lot. I still wonder why the Roger Pirates need an informant and intelligence officer and a torturer. That's hella weird fucking roles for the Pirate King to have. But it's also very interesting. Um, what else? Uh, we learned a lot about how we learned a lot about the giants and their sizes. Like now we have like I think like statistics to their size, like actual measurements. So now I think the One Piece wiki can update that, which is cool. Overall, I think this SBS is cool. We learned a lot. We There's definitely some questions to ponder about the Roger Pirates and the roles within them, right? And yeah, I enjoyed this making this video. I enjoyed reading the SBS with you guys. Oda really got to stop answering these questions from these perverts, but I think he just does it in good fun. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, I know this video has been a little bit longer, but leave a like, comment, comment down below what was the most interesting fact you learned, and subscribe. And that's it. That'd be greatly appreciated. And buenas noches, buenos dias, buenas tardes, depending on where you're at. Okay, thank you.